2 women are shot and killed at Texas A&M University Commerce. Police have identified them as sisters from Garland, Deja Matz and Ebony Matz. Ebony's 2-year-old son was also injured in this.
She only went to drop her sister off. That was it. Drop her off, stay the night because it was too late to drive back, kiss her baby boy goodnight, and be home by morning. That was the plan. Ebony Matz never made it home, and neither did her sister Deja. And the part that will stay with you, the part that should have never been possible, is that the man who walked into that dorm room that morning had already been arrested for attacking Ebony, already been locked up. The threat had already been reported. The system had already seen him, and they let him go anyway. Today on Theblackcasetv, 2 sisters, 1 night, and every warning the system chose to ignore. Stay with me. Garland, Texas. About 30 minutes northeast of Dallas. That is where Deja Monica Matz and Ebony Nicole Matz grew up. Side by side, year after year. So close that people who knew them rarely said one name without the other following right behind it. Deja was 19, the younger sister. She had worked hard, genuinely worked hard, to earn her place at Texas A&M University Commerce, where she was living in the Pride Rock Residence Hall as a freshman. Her major was public health. She was already talking about nursing school, already imagining herself helping people for a living, already planning the kind of future that makes a parent's chest swell with pride. Everyone who knew her described her the same way: sweet, focused, determined. The kind of young woman who didn't just have dreams, she had a plan for them. Ebony was 20, the older sister, a young mother to a 2-year-old little boy named Alan who, by every account, was the center of her entire world. She worked as a dental assistant, a job she built from scratch, started at the front desk, trained herself up, pushed until she was trusted with clinical work. Her co-workers remembered her as reliable, warm, and proud. Proud of her son, proud of the career she was carving out for herself, and more than anything, proud of her baby sister. To their family and friends, these 2 were simply a unit. You didn't get one without the other. They showed up to birthdays together. At every family gathering, they were the duo, the fun aunt, and the young mom, equally capable of keeping a room of kids in line or holding a loved one together through something hard. Their father would later describe both of his daughters in the simplest, most honest terms.
My daughters were fun, uplifting, had plenty of friends, nice folks, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what makes what happened next so difficult to sit with. Ebony was building something beautiful, but there was one thing threatening to tear it all down. His name was Jaquez Deshawn Smith, 21 years old, from Rowlett, Texas. And by the time he entered Ebony's life, his name had already crossed the desks of multiple police departments across the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Let me be clear about something. This was not a young man who made one bad decision. This was not somebody who slipped up once and was trying to get his life together. Jaquez Smith had 2 prior aggravated robbery convictions, serious charges that were later pled down to lesser offenses, additional arrests for aggravated assault, and charges for evading police in multiple cities. By 21 years old, he had accumulated the kind of criminal history that most people never see in an entire lifetime. He was also on probation. The relationship with Ebony started the way these things often do: attention, affection, charm. The version of a person they show you at the beginning, before you see what's underneath. But the underneath came. It always does. And what was underneath Jaquez Smith was a cycle that domestic violence survivors recognize immediately. Apologies followed by anger, promises followed by explosions, love used as a cover for control. Ebony reached her breaking point. She told him she needed space. She wanted out. That decision, that one completely reasonable decision to protect herself, triggered the most violent night she had ever experienced with him. According to court documents, Smith broke a lamp over her head, hit her repeatedly with a frying pan, then grabbed a knife, held it to her body, and said words that would echo through this entire case: "I will kill you." Ebony survived because she fought. She got away. She called the police. Smith was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. An emergency protective order was issued, and for a moment, it looked like the system was finally going to do its job. It didn't. He was out within days. Bond paid. Probation violation warrants still sitting on somebody's desk waiting to be processed. And Ebony, bruised, frightened, and trying to rebuild, had no idea he was already free.
You cannot tell me that there is any justification for a guy that has committed 4 prior violent felonies to be given a $1,500 cash bond release. And this guy got out before that warrant could be activated. When we see something that's broke, the Dallas County justice system has a duty to fix it.
Domestic violence experts have said it over and over. The most dangerous moment for a victim is not during the relationship. It is the moment she tries to leave. That is when abusers escalate. That is the window. And Ebony was sitting right in the middle of that window, bruised and frightened, with a man who had already told her exactly what he planned to do. And nobody told her he was already free. The weekend before the murders, the Mott's family gathered in Garland for a birthday celebration. One of the younger brothers was turning 18. The house was full the way it always was. Kids moving through rooms, food on the stove, music underneath the conversation, laughter filling every corner, and both sisters were there, together, because that is simply how they operated. Nobody in that house knew they were spending their last weekend with both daughters alive. As the evening wound down, Deja needed to get back to campus, and Ebony did what she always did. She stepped up. She made the drive with her. Little Alan came too, because wherever his mother went, he went. By the time they arrived at Pride Rock, it was too late to drive back. So Ebony stayed the night. One night. Just one night. And then home. But while the sisters settled in, Jacques Smith had already found his way to that campus. Surveillance footage would later show him in the dorm elevator around 1 a.m., moving through a building he had no business being in, using a key card he had no right to have. A man with 4 violent felonies, a fresh aggravated assault charge, and a protective order against him, walked straight through security using that building's own system to do it. The protective order meant nothing. The locked doors meant nothing. He had already been inside. He had already seen where she was. And by Monday morning, he came back. Inside Deja's room, life was just moving. Ebony with her son, Deja getting ready, 2 sisters with no idea what was already on the other side of that door. The door opened. No signs of force, no broken lock. Just a door that opened for someone it never should have. Inside that room, Jacques Smith opened fire on all 3 of them. Deja Matz, 19 years old, a freshman who came to this campus to become a nurse, was shot multiple times. Ebony Matz, 20 years old, a mother who drove her sister to campus just to make sure she got there safe, was shot multiple times. And little Alan, 2 years old, was hit in the leg. Somehow, miraculously, that baby survived. We don't know who screamed. What we know is that in a matter of seconds, it was over. And Jacques Smith walked out, back down that hallway, out of that building, to his car, and he drove away like nothing happened. Across the hall, a student heard something she couldn't explain. She got up, found a bullet hole clean through her wall. On the other side, it had nicked her calendar. She called 911. She had no idea she was reporting a murder.
University Police Department, this is Kim.
Police did release a 911 call that was made by a student at the college saying there was a bullet hole in her dorm room.
And there's a hole through my wall, and and on the other side directly across, there's a nick in my calendar. So it looks like something was shot through the wall and hit my calendar.
Police arrested Abney's ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Jacques Deshawn Smith, and he's been charged with capital murder. The girl's family says there had been relationship issues, but for now, they want the focus to be on these two beautiful sisters who were full of life and love.